Hey you guys, welcome to today's video. I am the Hooded Lid and we are going through my foundations. Before we get started, would you please, I'd like to ask you kindly, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps YouTube send my videos out so more people can discover me and I can grow. Okay, let's move on. And I'm looking at 2 bags of foundation. And this is just the stuff I don't use. This is the stuff that was upstairs in my bathroom. And I was thinking, let's go through everything. And we'll throw some things away if need be. We will. And I can tell you what I think about all my foundations. But now that I'm here, this might end up being 2 videos. Like the stuff that is upstairs that I hardly ever wear. Do I need to bring it down here into rotation? And then do another one with the stuff I keep down here because I've got a lot. I'm going to get a trash can and we're going to get going. Before we get started, I think it might be important to you to understand what my skin type is so you can decide if something that I don't like, you won't like, or something I don't like, you will like. You can use me as an opposite meter as well. I use lots of people that way. So I am 59 years old, which is neither here nor there. It's just that my skin is no longer producing the same amount of oils and ceramides and hyaluronic acid, which are all occurring in the skin. So while I don't consider myself dry, I am extraordinarily sensitive to something that is drying. I prefer a finish that is more skin-like to radiant over matte. Usually matte things actually dry me out. I start my program with a lot of stuff. I usually do 2 or 3 essences. I'll do vitamin C. Lately I've been doing also the May Love Hydrator. I might do a hyaluronic acid from Hada Labo. Then I'll put on a light moisturizer, and then I'll put on a heavier moisturizer, and then I'll put on my sunscreen. So I'm usually pretty shiny anyway, and that's hard to get rid of. Today I am wearing some sunscreen. I've mixed, just in case you see this from the future, this is 1 week and 1 day after doing the BBL and Halo laser together on my face. And right now I'm without foundation. I am wearing the Elastin sunscreen that is not tinted, but it leaves a teeny bit of a white tint, so I put a little bit of the Misha over it, but not a lot. The Misha can be drying, and I don't want anything drying on my face, especially right now, and especially because I'm not using my regular moisturizers. And what I'm using now is from Elastin, which is great, but I'm used to actually having more moisture on my face. So you might see a little bit of whiteness. Hopefully as we go it will fade, and at the end of the video we're going to put something on. I just don't know what. Let's get into it. Some of these are old, you guys. Oh, you know what? One of these is a foundation and one of these is not. The Cooling Matte Primer, which I remember thinking maybe I'll just keep this because it doesn't feel very dry. Now these are old, you guys. I'm not sure if the texture is still right. It feels okay once you blend it in. It smells okay. These are scented like peach, and I like it. I like the scent. This is a maybe. Maybe I'll keep this because it kind of mattifies you without being drying, and I like that idea. I bought 2 colors in this. Maybe I threw away the other color. Here's the problem with Too Faced is they don't make a good color for me, so I had to buy 2 colors, and even after I bought 2 colors, it still didn't look good, so I really didn't wear it. It is full coverage. To me, it is full coverage. I'm sure to Tati, who loves her full coverage drag makeup, it would be, I love her, no shade. It would be like not enough coverage. For me, it was a lot. And to me, I believe that if you're wearing full coverage, your color has to be right or it just looks awful. It can be pulled off if the color is right. Let's see what it smells like. So I think I kept the lighter shade. And mind you, I am putting this over the primer. I don't know. I mean, my goodness, it's quite old. And that's the thing about if something's scented, it's like, well, it still smells right. Should I try it? I don't know. You guys, I thought I was going to be so done, no, and already I'm like, I don't know. Let's see how it oxidizes. That will be the trick. This is so old. Oh my God, they don't even make this anymore, you guys. What was so brilliant about this though is the top had concealer. Not the kind of concealer you'd want to put under your eyes, but to get your pimples or redness or whatever. This is the Tint Visionaire, and I don't think they do this at all anymore, and it is so, I'm going to move this around so you can see how liquidy this is. This appears to have separated, even though I don't see that separation. I have something else I'll show you where we do. And I never threw this away. This is probably 8 years old because it was the first foundation I found that I felt actually matched me. And at the time, you know, I was in a Macy's, I think, and the sales rep spent a lot of time with me, and I realized how many shades Lancome had in their foundation. It seemed like hundreds, and I don't know if they still do, but I will tell you, I felt like this was a very good match for me at the time. Let's just do, we're going to do another swatch. This is Ivor 160W. It seems very watery, and I'm not really sure if that's because, you know, it's super old. I can smell the alcohol in this. It's interesting. It may be a little light for me, but yes, we're going to wait to see how that oxidizes. I thought I was really going to be good at this. I really did. Okay, nobody loved this. This is from Becca. It's called Skin Love, and I really, really like this. It reminded me a lot of the It Cosmetics CC cream. Here's the thing, I didn't love it. I mean, it was fine, I liked it. When I just finished, I felt as the day wore on, my skin looked better and better and better. I loved the way this looked, but as we know, Becca went bye-bye. So, I am going to say bye-bye to these. Bye. I loved you. Candid. So recently, you guys, I did the Candid Concealer, and I thought, wow, this is good. And I had bought this before, and I guess I got the wrong color. I bought this a couple of times, again, so hard with the color with drugstore. See how this is getting more and more yellow? So it's right here. This is quite thick. It feels actually similar to the It Cosmetics and the Skin Love. So there she is right there. There's no added scent to this, but it smells a little bit. It doesn't smell like, indescribable. So there she is right there. It does feel comfortable, and it does, I don't know if this will work on me. It might be a little too yellow. This is the color 260, and I feel certain that the reason I did not wear this after the first time was that it wasn't a good color. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, this is not a lot of product either. So they kind of get you at the drugstore where it's like, well, it's under $15, but it's also half the size as everything else. So it's really a $30 foundation, right? Let's see about that. Yeah, most foundations are 1 fluid ounce. This is 0.75 fluid ounces. So it's not quite half, but it's a quarter less. So it's not as much as a deal. I see, Revlon. It feels good on the face, as I recall. It didn't feel drying, and I think the coverage is fairly good, but I had a very hard time finding an appropriate color. And yes, it's getting darker as we speak. Bye-bye. These are probably the first drugstore foundations that I had tried in ages, and that is the Foundation Fond Tint. I think this is called Photo Focus from Wet n Wild. This is a pretty decent foundation, you guys. It's weird because it comes with a paddle, like yay. I don't mind that. I don't mind it. Although, you know, it gets a little crusty right around here. It's weird because it smells really strange. Kind of like paint. I have heard people say that they got rid of that scent. I don't know if it's true or not. As with many things at the drugstore, not a huge shade range. So you have to buy two. And at some point you have to ask yourself, am I really saving money buying two things and mixing them together? And for me, oftentimes when I buy two things, I'm still not getting the shade I want. But this is what I have. Soft beige is the lightest, and that is this one right here. And this is Buff Bisque. All right, this is the Too Faced. It is oxidized, it is orange, it is bye-bye. I did the same thing with the CC cream. I got the light, which is a little too light, and the medium, which is a little too dark, and used to mix these. You know what? These are so old, I'm not even going to try because it just squirted all over me. And usually this is kind of thick, which means no. Okay, that was easy. This I bought, I think, because someone recommended it. This is a Misha Cushion. Misha's a Japanese brand, but like many Japanese brands, they don't have a lot of colors. Now this color looks like it's okay, but it's in fact super, super light, I believe. So this is the Misha right here. And I think I'm going to keep this because I don't remember why I put this upstairs. Maybe it was the wrong color, that's what I think, but maybe there's something else going on. So I am going to hold on to this. This is the Candid. I don't know if you can tell how really, really dark this has gotten. It's just not a good shade for me. It's almost as dark as some of my tinted sunscreens, which isn't so good. So yeah, that remains in the trash. This is the Ysl Touch Clot before the last reformulation. This is so old. And I can't remember if I bought this and threw it away and bought it again, but this is another one where I have the hardest time getting the right color match. Oh my God, it feels so smooth. It feels so smooth, and I remember feeling that it made my skin look absolutely poreless. But there's something about the colors for this company, YSL, that just don't really work for me. We're going to keep this on the hand to see how it develops, but my recollection is it almost looked olive to me. The coverage on this is a solid medium, and I've just said it over and over again, it looks so beautiful on the skin, but the colors somehow do not work for me. And this is the color B40, so we're gonna see about it. This is so old, you guys. This is the By Terry CC cream. It smells like roses, which I have no problem with. It's extraordinarily light. By Terry doesn't have a lot of colors in the first place, and with the CC cream even less, so I would wear it in the depths of winter and I could get away with it, or you could add it to something else. It's pretty old. This is the color 02 Natural, and there's not a lot of coverage with this, but there is a cushiness to it. It's not extraordinarily thin. It's not thick, don't get me wrong, but it feels like comfortable, but it's a little too light. It still smells good. I think I'm going to keep that back in the box. This is my refill for the Chantecaille Cushion Foundation, which I love. It is so beautiful. Again, not a lot of shades, but I found a shade that works well for me. It makes the skin look perfected without looking like a lot. It's very comfortable. The coverage, I would say, is light medium, but you can build it if you need to. I love this. It's stupid expensive, but you do get a refill, but absolutely keeping that one. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. The original. This has got to be 5 years old when I first got it. I couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and put it on my face. I'm like, I'm so fancy. I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury. Well, I'm a model, but her colors are not good. You can see on my arm how incredibly, that's peach, right? Am I nuts? That's a peachy shade. There's a thickness to it, but it's not cushy. Like the By Terry felt cushy. And, you know, when I bought this 5 years ago, it wasn't quite drying, but I think it will be now. I'm 5 years older. As you get older, especially towards, you know, the back side of your life, the changes are faster. Well, the front side of your life changes are faster too. On the back side, not that I'm on the back side of my life, it's Solid medium coverage, a bit on the dry side. It's not quite matte. I think it's supposed to be a skin-like finish. And I feel like I should throw this away. Every time I pull it out and try it again, I think, why am I not using this? And I should use it, and then I don't. Same kind of thing with this. Why am I not using this? I should keep it, and then I don't use it. I'm going to put both of these on the side, but I have a feeling they're both going to have to go in the trash. It breaks my heart, but that's what happens. No, do you see a problem here? Look at that. You can shake this up, but the truth is really, really going to be as good if you just do a handshake. This is a beautiful foundation. They don't make it anymore. This is the precursor to the current Synchro Skin foundation, and it was lovely. And it had solid medium coverage. This is beautiful. It actually kind of reminds me of this, but this is no longer being made, so I have to throw it away, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw these two away, but I'm going to keep this one. So I had bought two in this color. This is the Golden 3. I'm keeping it. It's not as separated, it's not as bad. I'll just give it a nice shake. Nars Natural Radiant Longwear. Look at the two colors I had to get, you guys. Nars makes so many colors, and yet they don't make a color that works for me. I do think that Nars was one of the first companies that had a solid range for dark skin, and I think they even had a couple of different undertones. Definitely a red undertone, but they might have had a neutral as well. And yet there's nothing that really works for me. When I bought this again, I thought, wow, so beautiful, but a pain in the ass to mix the two colors together. And this is very, very fussy. A lot of people hated this because they weren't applying it correctly. They were using a beauty blender or a brush. It really was developed to be used with your fingers. So I might keep this, put it aside, and we might have a big video where we're trying on things and then deciding. Clarins Extra Comfort. I bought this because I thought, finally, a foundation that isn't drying, that matches my skin tone. It's still scented, and this has got to be 6 years old. They don't make it anymore, but it's like a liquidy cream, and there it is right there. And I felt that it was a really good color for me. Right now, I'm like, yeah, it's a great color for my arm, but my arm's slightly different than my face. And while we're at my arm, the Wet n Wilds, this is how they've oxidized. And I think on camera it might be a little bit different than in real life, but I just don't think that those are colors that are going to work for me. So, in the trash. And this will be something I'll keep. I'm not going to put it in another video because it's not being made anymore. So, I think we're almost done. And we're going to end with 4 bottles of Giorgio Armani. I got the Power Fabric and the Luminous Silk. They look pretty much the same on me because, as I said, I started very shiny anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. But the Power Fabric is supposed to be a matte, or on the matter side, and Luminous Silk makes your skin look luminous, like silk. Here's the problem. First of all, I have been told, and I believe to be true, that the colors are not the same between all their lines. So it kind of doesn't matter, because even though they make a lot of colors, they don't make a color that works for me. Your choices seem to be either very yellow or very rosy, which looks deadening on me. I am going to clean my hands and do some swatches for you for these, because these are hard to figure out. I have makeup all over my shirt and my pants. This is a very messy video, but I wanted to do some swatches for you for the Giorgio Armani because it's confusing. This is Luminous Silk right here, and this is Power Fabric right here. This is 5.5 Luminous Silk, and this is 5.5 Power Fabric. And they're not quite the same, right? This is 5 in Luminous Silk, and this is 4 in Power Fabric. And they look kind of similar. it doesn't matter because really neither of them work for me, and even when I blend them together I can't really get it to work. But I also kind of feel like I may as well wear one or the other color because it's close enough to work. Definitely going to shake them and keep them. They're upstairs in a cabinet, dark, not exposed to light. And I think that's going to be it for this video, you guys. But I have thrown away stuff, and I have the bag of what I'm throwing away, and we're going to go over it. And then I think I'm going to maybe do another video. You let me know if you want to see this, otherwise I won't, where I will try this, the Nars. I will try the Wonder, the Magic from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'll try the YSL again to see, do I need to throw them out? Do I not need to throw them out? Because I will keep things forever. Here are the things that I'm going to keep. This, for instance, I just put it on my chest. Sentimental. That's all I can say. I'm keeping the Misha because I'm just not 100% sure, and it's fairly new, and I might do a video on it. But the things I'm going to throw away, this is going bye-bye. It smells fantastic. And I'm throwing away this. It's so old, the CC creams. I have 2 of them. They're super old. These are no longer being made, even though I also haven't worn them in a long time. This is not a full size. Usually 1 fluid ounce, and this is 0.75 ounces. It's a little bit, and the color range is pretty bad, and the color is bad. It's bad. I cleaned my hands already, you guys, because I had stuff all over the place. So those are going bye-bye. So far, these, bye-bye. The Wet n Wilds, they're not good colors for me. And that's a big drugstore issue. They just don't make enough colors. And the colors they do have are a little strange. The Lancome, it's so old, but it is so clever to have a matching concealer in the top just to get the areas where you have something going on. But it's very, very old, so that is leaving. And that's it. This is my big bags of no. Believe me, I have tried to get rid of these for some time, so I feel good that I filled up a bag. These are going to. This is the precursor for the Sheisedo Synchro Skin. It is a beautiful foundation, beautiful on the skin. Now these I shook up so they don't look quite as bad. I'm keeping one of them because I had another bottle in this one. When I found out that this was going to be discontinued, of course I bought some. Never a good move, I have to say, because inevitably I do find that I find something else that I like just as much or better, but that other bottle is newer, so I'm keeping it. So these 2 are going in the trash. So what am I keeping? I'm keeping the Sheisedo. I'm keeping this because I just love it. It's a little too light for me, but I can use it as a mixer. I should probably bring it down here to do that. The Nars I'm keeping. I'm probably going to do another video. Do I need to keep this? The Clarence I'm keeping for sentimental reasons. I know I'm weird. The Misha I'm keeping because it's fairly new. This is beautiful. Of course I'm keeping this. This I'm going to try again and see, are we meant to be or not? Same thing with this. This I know is beautiful on the skin. Beautiful. I've heard it's been reformulated a couple of times, and I don't know which reformulation this is. I'll just hold it up here. Maybe you know, if you're an expert, which reformulation this is. But it's a color issue, but I'm going to try it again so I can really clean this stuff out. And 4 bottles of Giorgio Armani. So these are keepers. And my next video will be the foundations I have down here. And those will be things that I like more because they're down here. That's it, you guys. I know it's a weird one. I was just a little scatterbrained all over the place, but I hope it was fun for you. Let me know your thoughts below. I love to hear from you. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.